Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time we did a little bit more automation. I think it's time we played a video game that I haven't put on the channel yet. Hello everybody, this is Frogman, and welcome to a brand new series. Well, guess what they did? They finally released a massive update for one of our favorite games that changes the way the gameplay goes. And for those of you that don't know, Factorio is probably the reason why Frogman does, well, any amount of YouTubes. And that's because of a mod pack inspired by this game called Factorio that a good friend of mine made for Minecraft 1.10, I believe. A long time ago. And part of the reason why I enjoy that so much is because of this game. Now, I've been kind of on and off playing Factorio for the last 5 or 6 years. I've got about 1,300 hours in the game. It's the second highest level of Steam hours I've spent in any one game outside of the Long Dark. So, that's how much I like Factorio. Anyhow, we will continue on with a new, I should say continue on. We will start a brand new season. This was me trying to remember how to play the game before they dropped it, because it literally been 6-8 months since I played it the last time, so we won't worry about that one. I completed pretty much the vanilla before the update happened in about, what was it, 60 hours, just for goofing around and playing around. So I did something stupid. I played a strip world, and it took for absolute effort to find any resources. So anyhow, we will go ahead and start a new game. We're going to go ahead and play Free Play Space Age, which is going to, what is this? Oh, that's neat. I didn't know that you could do that. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and do a brand new play with Free Play Space Age, and we're going to do a little bit of goofing around here. I'm going to not do too much away from vanilla because I want to kind of get their idea. The only thing I will usually do to make it a little bit harder is do a rail world, where basically all that does is it just pushes out the resources a little bit further, so you have to run trains to it. This is going to be interesting because we have new train stuff, train mechanics, elevated train tracks, which is going to be amazing. That's going to be so much fun. It's going to make my life so much easier on a lot of things. Plus, they've changed a lot of recipes, or at least some of the recipes have been made simpler, or some of them have been made harder. It's just going to be a little bit of fun. Plus, we have various things that we get to do across a lot of different things. So, like I said, I'm not going to do anything outside of maybe rich resources just to make it a little bit easier on us. But I think we'll leave it default. We're not going to touch any of the settings here. We're going to go terrain, nothing here outside of, well, what I normally do, which is this. I'm going to turn them down to like a third of what they are now, and I'm going to turn their continuity down to about a third of what they are now. I usually like about 33%. There's nothing against cliffs. The problem is I get so tired of running into a cliff trying to kill a bunch of biters and can't get away from it, and then die because of a cliff. It's the same thing as dying because of rocks. So those are the only things that I will usually change. Enemies, not going to mess with them. We're just going to leave this stuff the way it is. All the fun stuff the way that it goes. And of course, in here, we're not going to probably touch anything else either. I know, I'm just going to play this flat out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to hit the preview button. And we're going to sit here and click on this button until we see something that looks reasonably well. So in order to be able to do a YouTube thing here, basically what I want to do is I want to have the starting area. So the starting area right here, as we see right here, I want the water, the copper, the iron, and the coal to all be within a reasonable walking distance of each other. I think I'm going to be crazy and try something like this. So what I usually like is I like to have the starting area is going to be like right here. We'll probably start like right about there. What I like to have is my coal kind of close to the water, so that early power is not hard to run. You don't need a lot of belts to get it done. Plus, I do not like my ore patches to be overlapping or sitting on top of each other. Some of these will tend to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that and put this over here just in case we have a problem. Nice. And let's see what we get as far as how this is going to work. So the other thing is it's also going to show us what the other planets look like. So I guess right off we're going to have a reasonable amount of something right here. I have no idea what Vulcanus is going to be about, although I've seen seen previews and it looks pretty spooky. We have a marshy planet, which we're supposed to be able to grow all kinds of plants on. And I forget what this one is. This one I think has like ancient worlds or ancient, there's like ancient cities on it or something like that. And then there's supposedly this one, which is ice cold and frozen. So we should have a lot of fun with this. Let's go give it a try and let the cutscene run. Oh boy. Welcome to Factorio Space Age Free Play. Your task is to dispatch an interstellar space platform. You will need to research advanced technologies in order to unlock the rocket silo and discover other planets. Start small, work your way up with automation, construct a reliable base of operations, and reach for the stars. Protect yourself from the native species as they may not appreciate your presence. Yep, well, we're going to find out how much they don't appreciate our presence. So we're going to look around real quick. I'm going to let the fires die out. Not a big deal to worry about a few things. You're given a couple of interesting things here, plus there's some stuff up there to look around at. I wanted to see what this looked like. Kick open the map. We have a starter amount of almost 500,000 iron, 250,000 coal, 160,000 stone, and 236,000 iron, or excuse me, copper. Now, this is a desert planet, and desert planets they can be fun, but they can also be a royal pain in the butt because we may or may not have issues with our locals because of the fact there's no trees generally around the area to eat up the pollution that we're going to make. So I'm going to clean this mess up. I think we'll leave the ship for now, but there are a few things in here that I want. In here, there should be a little bit of rounds. If you demolish this, you won't get too much out of it, I don't believe. I think there's like a couple of little, you might get a few things. We're going to get about 8 iron plates, plus, again, we start with a few little toys here. So how I do this generally, and this is just me, is I try to run around and find big rocks because early on, you're only given a couple of pieces of wood. So I think what we'll do real fast, we're going to get us a little bit of coal, get this started making us some more iron plates so that we can do a few other little things. And then we're going to run around real quick and look for some big rocks so that we can get more easily attainable things. All right, 20 coal, then we're going to run over here to the iron and start our initial little bit of a factory here. I usually will just grab the burner drill. Burner drills are kind of, again, this is not going to be a tutorial kind of thing, so I'm going to pretty much show you what I tend to do, and then we go from there. So I'll do something about like that. I'll put about 15 coal in that and 5 or so in here because this thing runs slower than this does. So what we need to do, and this is the new thing that has been going on here with our science. Our science is now based around, well, at least the initial stuff here. We have a couple of things that we're going to get, and if you kind of look down here through the science, there's some things in here that are researchable based on crafting things or collecting things. So in order to unlock electronics, you have to craft 10 copper plates. In order to unlock steam power, you have to craft 50 iron plates. And if you look down here, what is it, this one? I think this one is, yeah, you have to craft a lab. And then down here, as far as steel axe is concerned, you have to craft, I think it's 50 steel. There's some changes to the way, like I said, they changed some of the way the technology works. So now we have things to go here. What I want to do is I want to do that, and I want to take that and immediately make another one of those. And all of these. So we'll put you here, and we'll put you here for now. And again, I want to just kind of do goofy stuff, so I'm going to let this run a little bit. If I can get another, 9 more plates, which is kind of what I want to do right now. We're going to get 9 more plates so we can get a little bit of coal going. Once that's completed, then I'll go set up some coal on our coal patch. And then we can go look at some stuff, because we're going to need to run around and find a few more things. Make me another one of those, please. That's not a terrible run. I mean, as far as it goes, the copper's down here. I just like to have the coal, or at least a starter coal, kind of nice and close to the first water patch so that you're not running for days when you do finally get to the point where you need to be able to make science. So give me a couple of pieces of coal, and away we go. We'll let these guys just kind of sit there and do the work. Now, what I want to do is I want to kind of, again, run around. We need wood. We need stone so that we can make some more furnaces. And it's usually just quicker to let that kind of sit there and run around and look. So we'll do a little bit of investigation. The biggest problem is, again, it's kind of this early. Ooh, hey, you, fix your problem. You need to be about right there. Maybe we'll do a little bit more, maybe a little bit of red. There we go. Something about, like, I usually like 30 and 250, I think. And let's say 40 this time. That works. Okay, cool. Let's go see what we can find. Because we need trees. And I'm not seeing any. I usually do not like desert starts, but we'll see what we get. Alright, that ought to be enough stone. Some trees are up next. We have a little forest over here. We need a bunch of logs so that we can make telephone poles eventually. Hey, there we go. Steam power is completed. That means we've crafted, what, 50 steel, or 50 iron plates, so that's cool. We'll have to do a little bit more work when we get back. I would really like to find a rock with some coal in it. Sometimes there's some big rocks. What you're like, if you're playing in a forest environment or one of the other ones, you'll have big rocks that will have a large amount of coal in them. But like early game, if you want a whole lot of rocks, you want, you know, or stone, you want those things. I believe the live trees have more wood in them. Yeah, they do. Alright, go ahead and craft a bunch of these. I don't need 30. Holy moly. No. Do one more. That's good. Alright. How did you guys do? So if you place them like, again, if you place them like this, they'll be able to feed the coal back into each other so you can get the coal out of them. And if you use the magical things, there's an unholy amount of keybinds that go on with this game. So you need to kind of pay attention to what you can and cannot do, but there's all kinds of neat little shortcuts and things you can do depending on how you work with your mouse. So that should allow us to, once we get back over here, craft a bunch more burner drills. Yes, it did. Amazing. Have some coal and craft a bunch more of these up. Cool. 1, 2, 3. Nice. And those run a little bit, make some more iron. We'll see if we can't get one on. Well, we'll come back over here and check our coal. Might just go ahead and do the thing then. You need to go that way, you can go that way, and you get rotated. Cool. Let's go set up something on the copper. Not too terrible of a walk. It could be a lot worse. Yeah, take the rest of that. And now we should start to be working on this science right here where it's going to want to, well, this particular research right here where it's going to want us to craft 10 of those, right? All right, cool. Those automatically go. I kind of like that. I kind of like having to unlock that kind of stuff that way. It's kind of fun because normally I think you had to do science for it, which means you had to be making science. But this way we can just kind of let things go. We'll go back up here, get a little bit of, I guess we can grab some coal because we're about out of it. That's a reasonable distance, and that should allow us to make a very reasonably simple, easy starter base, as they would say. I tend to be very organic with my starter bases. I don't have a big gigantic blueprint that I smack down like everybody else does because I enjoy the beginning of this game. Go back to work. Alright, electronics are done. Our next step is we need to craft a lab. And we need to craft a bunch of power. Can I have all the iron, please? I don't have a lot. Early game. This is just back and forth. So I'll probably try to do what I can about speeding it up or cutting things out or doing whatever. But we'll see. Give me those. You want me to craft one of those. And then while you're at it, go ahead and do one of those. And I need to need some more iron. Where is the iron? Up here. Let's go get some more coal. Alright, science is done, or at least the lab is done. We can now start crafting things, which now we get to start doing some research. So we build some infrastructure and some power and some things around. Let's see what we're doing here. You need a little bit more coal. This is why I like to find big rocks, because I don't have to sit here and run back and forth between this stuff all the time to see exactly what it's doing. You're about out of fuel too. Here, have some more. 2, you can have the rest. Alright, 2 more burner drills. We'll go plop those down on the coal so we can get a little bit more coal going. I want you. Nope. Let go. R. There you go. And then boop, boop. Rotate. There you go. So those should go like in a circle and feed each other. Okay, cool. Nice. And that's about generally all the more of the burners I will make. I might make 2 more just for the coal to get it moving a little bit faster. But like one of the first things I'll probably end up doing is getting right straight into a lot of the things that need or can make coal happen faster. Make a few telephone poles because we're going to need them very quickly, and we're going to check. We can now craft some science. So the first thing we're going to probably do, given that we're being kind of quiet, nobody's bothering us, is we'll go ahead and set that one up, and then I'm going to go ahead and set logistics up, and then I'm going to go ahead and set that up and that up. This is a new feature that they automatically do this. Now, it used to be that you had to do them every single time. I kind of enjoy that part. I don't know why that was 1.0 or something like that. I've been playing this a long time. I think I started playing Factorio in 0.12. Been a long time. Our pollution is already spreading out nicely. Let's reach out and touch the neighbors and let them know we're here. Again, as stated, it's not a good idea to take unless you're crazy like I am, making in a desert world, or at least building a desert world, is not a good idea if you're gonna play with biters, because that means your pollution can spread out a long way before the trees will start helping out. And I don't think we've got trees anytime soon on this planet, or at least this save. Anyhow, let's gather up a little bit of coal. I've crafted just enough stuff to get science going. So we'll go get some science going. Actually, I want to run down here and get a little bit more copper, and then we're going to run up to the lake and do that. So I need 1 of those, and I need some, I'm going to see if we can't just plug it right straight in right off. I kind of like to be cheap with my early stuff, because in reality, all you need to do is sit down and just craft a bunch of random stuff. Now, I've done the lazy bastard run where you're only allowed to craft something like, what is it, 100 some odd different things, and then you're stuck with having to do everything with automation. That's actually not too bad. It's pretty close. So what we should be able to do is we should be able to take this, plug the boiler directly into it. We'll do them that direction, and then I should be able to stick 2 of those down. A couple of power poles later. We'll do that about right there. And then I need to craft 1 of these. We'll place the lab down right here. Actually, I need to move you over real fast. I want to make sure I have a flat line of stuff. Good. Lab down, and then once we get the automation going, we're going to place something right here. I need to go ahead and craft, how many for automation? 10. Cool. And then we'll go ahead and toss that in here with the storage container for our fuel for the moment, and a single inserter to power it all. And I guess you can start working on this. Guess while I'm sitting here waiting on a couple of things, one thing I do want to make a mention of is that they added a nice bunch of button bars down here that you can now choose to find all of the cool things. So you can add in or subtract or remove whatever, but boom, there we go, automation that will allow you to put a couple of things in. And one of the biggest things about it that I'm very, very happy about actually is the ability to make copper wire, green wire, or red wire for free, which is cool. You usually have to make that stuff, and it's usually, what is it? It's like copper wire and an electronic circuit or a green circuit. That is super cool. So I'm so glad that they did that part. So, alrighty, now that we have automation going, the first thing we're going to do again is we're going to craft one of these. Again, craft some stuff. We're going to be busy crafting, but I'm going to be lazy about stuff. Again, we're being lazy. We can do things. I want to go ahead and put this right there and this right there. Quick bars. I got to get better at using my quick bars. I understand. We're going to drop one of these down. We're going to put this down. We're going to tell it what we want it to do. I'm going to make sure we have alt mode on alt so I can see what's in my containers. And since the power's up here and I'm, again, being cheap, we'll do this. And you make science. So now all I have to do is run back and forth between this box and all of our gear down here and work slowly through all of this. I will probably go ahead. The thing is here, this has a very, very slow crafting speed, and something I'm very glad to see now is the ability to have stuff down here in the bottom right, or bottom kind of right-hand corner at what it allows you to do. And what I love about this now, it's something that I recently, or at least noticed, or maybe I've just been not played in this game for a year, is that even when you add in your modules and your beacons, it will tell you the exact crafting speed or the numbers that you need to know for the material, for the thing that you're messing with, so you can understand how long it's going to take, how much stuff you need to do. And I'm just so glad they did this. And there's another thing in here too. They kind of changed where to find certain things as far as what ingredients take inside assemblers or machines. But yes, I'm so glad that they added this. It might have been there this whole time, it might have not been. It's been, like I said, been forever since I've played this game. So again, we're going to go ahead and pay attention to the fact that we can make 0.1 of those a second, and this thing is going to chew through, you know, whatever it is a second. Some of these sciences, it'll tell you, like in here, the logistics is going to tell you at 15 per minute. So for 15 per second, I believe. So it says 15 of those. So this won't take too terribly long to get over with. For the most part, the majority of all the beginning stuff in here, at least all of this thing in here, you'll be able to run 2 labs and 2 of these. So it's kind of one of those. 2 labs, 2 of these. So if you're going to do pretty much until you get your next bit of logistics, bit of automation, you'll be able to do this. So all I'm going to do right now, and this is going to be the dumb thing, I'm going to do this. Come on, cue it up. Oh, it is queued up. Those 2 are queued up. We've got logistics coming. I'm going to pretty much do all of the things that it has in here. Steal that. This is going to be a little while. But pretty much all I'm going to do is just walk back and forth between here and there and slowly build some of this stuff up until we have the majority of everything ready to go. I'll probably bring you guys back when we have green science unlocked, and we may see where we go from there. So, I'll see you in a little bit. Alright, radar down. We can start exploring, or at least doing the simple, easy thing. We're getting there. I've got a bunch more stuff in queued. I just want to make sure I have all this kind of sorted out before we get to that science pack, because that's going to make sure that a couple of these things are going. But literally, this is pretty much all I do at the very beginning, is just blow out as much of this science as I possibly can so that I can get to automation 2, so I can get to steel furnaces, so I can get to logistics 2 if I can get there. I mean, I know it's a long ways to go from here, but I really, really like those, and I really like a couple other things that are going in here. I know it's kind of, this is one of those maps where, you know, there's not a whole lot to do. There's nothing here. I don't even think our nearest neighbors are going to be, they're probably out here or something. So we do have quite a ways to go. I am crafting belts in the background. We will go ahead and start running a few belts around once we get a lot of them. But again, for right now, and again, early game, this is pretty much all I do. I just kind of sit here and grind out science. There we go. Logistical science packs are completed. And we should now be doing, we're also working on the steel. I went ahead and set a furnace down and threw some iron plates in it so that it could make the steel. That means that the next step is going to be processing logistical science packs. I am out here doing a little bit of just scouting, exploring to try to figure out which direction base is going to go. Looking at the way this is, I think we're probably going to go this direction. I think we're just going to start building smelting arrays right here and then start building resources heading this direction. There are some cliffs out here that we're going to have to deal with, and of course we have some little friends. But other than that, I think we have an idea. I'm also enjoying what this looks like because I have coal out here and copper and stone and iron, so we could even immediately start outposting some of this stuff. Like we could build a smelting facility out here that we could feed with this. I know it's kind of silly, but we're gonna try to do a few things. Again, like I said, I like my starter bases to be fairly organic, meaning I just kind of throw stuff down until we get a few things done, till we get some stuff organized. But next time we will work on getting green sciences going up and getting the automations built and start building out a bunch of furnaces, buses, and fun stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is going to be one of those things where I'm going to kind of just fiddle around with it and play with it and hopefully be able to get at least 1 or 2 episodes out a week. Factorio is a game I love, but it is a rather grindy game given the way that I like to play it. So it may take us a little while, it may not. Anyhow, I'll see you all later. Thank you so much for watching.